Hey everybody, just a quick message from Bald and Bonkers Network. We would like to remind everybody that certain topics of discussion may not be comfortable for all listeners. Certain viewpoints may not reflect those of our partners, sponsors, affiliates, our hosts, or that of our guests. We would like to encourage everybody to keep a respectful and open climate of discussion for all topics, no matter how disturbing they may be. So viewer discretion is advised.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a brand new year and the world is getting crazier than ever before. And there's only two idiots who know best to bring it to you. Join Christopher Mole and Dakota Francis every week on the Bald and Bonkers Show. You never know what's going to happen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are going to be talking about one of Chris's favorite topics, and will likely get him to be called by social services, black-eyed children.
Come on, it's one of the most interesting subjects in the world, isn't it? It's one of the
Why are you beating up kids in the first place? I'm joking. We're not talking about that.
I don't like children.
Oh, I feel so sorry for your niece.
That's all right. My niece is about 20 something. I don't actually forget what age she is, so I better not say anything in case I get her out, in case it comes back.
Well, you shouldn't be saying it at all. She's a woman. She'll kill you regardless, even if you get it right.
That's fine. It's fine.
It's like if you. The only safe thing is to say she looks younger. That's it.
Yes.
But even then, I've gotten in trouble.
Poppycock. The canny ham.
Poppycock.
Poppycock.
UK's definitely coming out of him.
Poppycock. It's poppycock, you know. Oh, poppycock. There you go. But the black-eyed kids, it's an interesting thing, the black-eyed children. I mean, what are the black-eyed children? Look behind me. Are they aliens or are they spirits? Or are they both?
I don't know.
From a dark dimension.
I don't know. It's like, if you go to look up black-eyed kids, you'll obviously see Snopes coming up and saying it's nothing more than a legend. But
I've seen that today. I was looking at that.
It's nothing more than an internet legend. But we can go into this. That doesn't necessarily negate the fact that it's real, being that there's allegedly Slender Man sightings out there, and he was completely faked.
You could talk about if Mike was here, you could talk about the fact that if you believe in something that much, it might come alive. Is that like a topa? They call it. Is that a topa?
Topa, thought forms. Yeah, I believe another term that's used is servitors.
The stories I've heard, because I listen to a lot of Coast to Coast AM, and this is before I started getting into this kind of thing. This is going back years. The stories that I've heard are some crazy stories. I mean, the black-eyed kids. I mean, I've never known a black-eyed kid incident that have hurt someone that's been reported. But then again, there could be people out there that have disappeared because they've encountered these things that we don't know of, right? Mm-hmm. So, but I have heard the stories where one woman, there was a chap at the door, it was maybe 9 o'clock at night, she went to the door and there was a little boy and a little girl, and they went, "Can we come inside?" It's as if they've got a mission in life. That's their mission, to get inside that house or inside that car. Right? That's their only mission. And it's as if they're like programmed. Someone's programmed them really badly, because they've only got like a certain protocols. Please let me in so as I can call my mummy. And that's the only thing that they'll really say. And then the person turns around and says, "Oh, I don't know," and turns back, they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I've got a suspicion what they are, right? I don't believe that they're supernatural. I don't believe that they're supernatural. I don't think that they're spirits or demons. I think they're something else. I think they were sent here to try and it's some type of probe. Like say like Starship Enterprise would launch a probe into a nebula or something like that. I think it's an alien race's form of trying to they're up to something.
Sorry, I know you were starting to pause like you were expecting me to say something there, but
yeah.
Someone just spoke as you said that.
I can hear tones playing. Did you see me take my earphones off during the start?
Yeah, I saw you messing with your earphones. I thought, like you said, you were also saying that you had a bit of a sinus issue going on right now. I've got a bit of a sinus. These don't help.
People that noticed last night I was sniffing. I couldn't help that because I had sinus, but I do have sinus problems all the time. I need to get like something done to my sinuses. I'm just not brave enough to go for the procedure. But anyway, I can hear that ringing. I can hear it. It is the tones that we usually play. And I do think when I start hearing the tones, it's usually when we're going down the right path. That's...
Yeah.
I mean, what's your thoughts on the Black Eyed Kids? Come on. What's your thoughts? What do you think they are?
I will say this. Hold on. I will say that I am getting kind of those same tingling sensations I got when we first started messing with the CE5 protocols.
Yeah.
Where it seemed like you would feel electrostatic sensations in your brain that went to the rhythm of the tones and you hit hair raising. I'm starting to get that too. But like I said, like on arms.
I was going to say.
I was like, yeah, I know. Hair. If this hair is raising, we got something else going on. But no, it's definitely an interesting sensation. And I'm glad you brought that up because there is a YouTuber out there.
Yeah.
Who may have gone missing because of these things.
What's his name again? What's his name?
I believe he went by Fantastic Daily. This was years ago when he stopped uploading. But he started to analyze Black Eyed Kid videos, ran it through some audio software, which the software he used you can actually get for free. I've used it since I was a teenager.
Yeah.
He noticed that there was certain low frequency tones. Hard for the human ear to hear, but if you run it through a spectrogram, you would see what looked like just bars throughout the audio. Yeah. Normally, you would see colored waves.
Yeah.
You go to play this, about 3 nights into it, according to his video, mind you, all of a sudden, someone shows up. I think it looks like a woman, but someone shows up in front of his camera. Setting off the second night happened, it's something set off his motion activated outdoor light, which could easily be, just a bird or a squirrel passing by.
Stuff like.
But night 3, there was a woman, what looked like a woman just standing there, kind of looking around, trying to find out, as if it was trying to find out where the sound was coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I find it funny that from a certain light, from certain angles, that woman looked like Jana, but that's another story.
Well, I'm going to stick by what I believe that they are, and I believe that there's some type of alien entity. Now, I'm not saying that there's for space, because let's face it, aliens come from different dimensions. I think there's some type of entity from a different dimension. They're alien to us because they're where they're from. And I think they're trying to manipulate people, but I think they're trying to figure things out. All right. I'm on the right path here. I know I kind of sounds weird, right? But I feel like I'm on the right path here.
It has that suspense that we're infamous for on this show, that when we start talking about certain things and we're starting to move in the right direction, weird shit starts happening. So
yeah,
I'm definitely getting that tingle right now. I have a couple of different thoughts, maybe going into alien territory, but you know me, I wanted to try to get more up close and personal. I've always wanted to try to replicate Fantastic Daily's experiment just to see what would happen.
I get the extreme feeling, and I don't know where I'm getting this. I know exactly where I'm getting this from, but I'm not letting folk get where I'm getting it from. That you need to be very careful what you do.
I know.
Right? Because I think you could accidentally open something. You could accidentally open like a doorway, and maybe that's where he went. Right?
Well, he just stopped uploading one day. Something spooked him hard. Now, going into the kind of the alien thing, you see, when it comes to dealing with more of the what is believed to be the positive grays, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
A lot of their mannerisms can be described kind of like somebody with autism. It's like they don't necessarily register how our emotions work. They can feel them,
the grays,
but they don't really necessarily understand them. And when it comes to dealing with hybrids, was what I'm going into, you see that kind of behavior as well, where some of them apparently just have to touch you. They can read everything they need to know about you, then go about their business.
The thing about the greys, right? And no, all greys are bad, everybody. There is extraterrestrial greys out there that are actually quite nice, right? But then there's this sect that want to see humankind enslaved and stuff like that. Let's talk about them. This is what I get from when I look at them, right? I get somebody with like learning difficulties, right? Like a child and like a human, no, a child in like an adult's body, but they don't have any, what's the word I'm looking for? They don't have any like personality. They don't have it. They do not have it, right? They're only there to like serve a purpose, right? As if there's something else, there's a hive mind controlling them, right? That's what I get for them. These black-eyed children, I think, have got something to do with them. But I think whoever's controlling these children are like the greys, right? But they're far older and they're not from this. I think they're from a different dimension. Maybe the greys are even curious about who these beings are, too. You don't know.
It is curious. It is a curious case when we even have a footage out there. I mean, let's go, for example, there's a Chinese-Canadian influencer, I believe I was just looking her up for basically to refresh my mind. She was filming a little video. She was out with a friend. You know, they were out in the pool. And as she's filming, there's some bushes behind her.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, what looks like a person with black eyes pops into frame. Now, granted, being that these were beautiful Asian women.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you'd be hiding in the bushes.
I would be worried about a stalker before I would try to worry about anything supernatural. But nevertheless, there is a theory. I'm kind of step into the direction of Men in Black. Author Nick Redfern, one of the theories he's presented in his books is that the Men in Black may be regular, everyday humans that are under some sort of mind control or possession, because there's been cases where these guys, some random people, have been waking up somehow dressed up in Men in Black attire with no memory of even doing that.
So now, you're basically
my first question is, were they recently in Vegas?
Yeah. I mean, see, here's an interesting point. Right? Let's look at the US alone. Think how many people in the US every year disappears without a trace.
It's hard to say.
We'll just say 1,000, right? Because we don't know that. I do know it's over 1,000, right? See if you can Google it.
I am curious now.
Right. All these people that disappear, right? Yes, some of them could get murdered, right? There could be a serial killer out there. Yes, some of them might commit suicide, right? Some of them might just want to disappear to get away from everything, right? They're still living. They've just changed their identity.
Whoa,
right?
What?
How many?
Okay, this is... It says, according to statistics, this is the first thing that pops up. It's from a website called mysteries24.com. So,
yeah,
I don't know. But apparently, every year it is estimated that almost 2 million people disappear without a trace
in the world,
all over the world.
Right, that's good. Well, here's the thing:
2 million.
What
2 million.
What happens if, right, just listen to me, what happens if the Men in Black know what you think they are? What happens if the extraterrestrials or whoever they are deliberately abduct these people right? Take them to the shop or take them back to their lair or whatever it is there, and then they do something to them that basically wipes their brain and reprogram them to be their men in black or be their slaves or whatever, right? And then sometimes you get these people that are found wandering about, no knowing who they are, like maybe 10 years later, right? That have been missing for years, and they're like, "Where have you been?" I'm like, "I don't know," and they've just found there. What happens if that's them? They've seen their purpose and they've been released back in, but they've been wiped. I mean, you just look at the national parks in America and in the UK that people just go poof, disappear. And then there'll be people watching this on people listening to this in the podcast, and there'll be people watching this on YouTube, and they'll be like this. Yes, but some people disappear in these parks. Look, there's cases out there missing 411, right? We know that David Politis, right? There's been cases where it's canyon walls in either end, right? There's been 4 people in the front, and there's been 6 people behind, right? There is nowhere to go, right? And there's been someone in the middle walking along. Poof, they just disappear. They look for them, they hunt for them, they search for them, they spend weeks, they get the army out, they look everywhere, and they're never found again. I definitely think these black-eyed kids have got something to do with these things, these people that disappear.
It's honestly hard to say. When it comes to these types of cases, you got to consider there's so many different variables that most people just don't have the patience or bother to try to go through. See, there's a gentleman who pops up on a lot of different podcasts. I've actually reached out to him to try to come on a podcast. He said he'd be maybe willing to do something in March, but has yet to get back to me. His name is Andy Bustamante, former CIA operative.
Yeah.
There's a clip out there where he explains in today's age, in order to disappear completely, which you would think would be harder to do because of all these digital devices, right?
Oh God, yeah.
According to him, all it would really take is to get rid of all your electronics that you currently possess.
Yeah.
You can get a phone off the deep web or black market. You can go that route, pay for most of your stuff in cash, and completely disappear.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's that easy, and granted, how do you know that there wasn't a situation where, is it a rich person trying to cover up something they did, or is it a rich person that just has enough fuck you money to disappear without a trace?
Yeah, there's been cases like that. Look at there was a case in America, I think it was last year I seen it, where he was a criminal, but I can't remember. I think he was wanted for burglary, or it was something like a bank job or something like that. And he was found living in some state park. He'd been living there for nearly 9 years. And someone just came across him one day. Look, I do believe that there's people who don't want to be found, right? But then there's people that commit suicide in water, right? If you commit suicide in the water, you're not going to really be fun, right? Unless you're in a car, you stay in the car, because I've seen a lot of that. But you talk about all this technology, look at MH17. Poof. Kind of what I mean? It just disappeared. The black-eyed kids are interesting because there's been cases with them all over the world. There's been cases in the UK. There's been cases, the mere cases are in America. And where would you say most of the cases in the United States is, Dakota?
Obviously, dealing with rural areas, so where there's more national parks.
Yeah. Which is interesting, isn't it?
Which happens to be my backyard.
Yeah, but there's no really in the cities. Do you not find that strange that you don't get these entities in cities?
Well, this kind of goes back to a conspiracy I've mentioned before on a show, that the whole reason why the National Park Service got started in the first place was Theodore Roosevelt. It's no speculation that he was an avid outdoorsman. There's even a story that where from his journals that some believe may have been him shooting at Bigfoot near Yellowstone.
He had something to do with that Oak Island mystery. He's been there.
Exactly. So again, he was very interested whenever these kind of reports came up of strange creatures, strange treasure. He would want to go out and check it out himself. So it is believed by some that the National Park Service, he found it because he knew there was something in those woods that people would really not want to find.
I believe
there's, if I remember correctly, in the towards Tibet, that mountain range where Everest is, there's actually a forbidden city that no one's supposed to go into that is believed to be populated by Yeti.
I've heard that. Are you talking about Shangri-La?
I don't believe Shangri-La is tied to it, but
that's what Shangri-La is meant to be. It's meant to be in the Himalayas.
That is Himalayas. See, that's right. It is. That's one of the spots it's supposed to be. The Shangri-La was also a nice looking hotel I saw in China.
Yeah, I mean, the Bigfoot, right? I do believe there's two different forms of Bigfoot. I believe there's the primitive ones that have always lived here on this planet, right? But then there's the intelligent ones that actually use ships, because a lot of the UFO reports have been above forest areas, right? But then again, maybe the UFOs that are coming here, or whatever they are maybe interested in Bigfoot the same as we are. Yeah, I mean,
there's some stories from contactees, some of which we've spoken to personally, where what they would speculate these would be the ancestor to Bigfoot came down with some of the cedar races that helped form humanity into what it is today.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
As for how this all ties into black-eyed children, it's hard to say.
Well, it does tie in a lot, right? So, I mean, you think about it, a lot of the Bigfoot sightings and a lot of these kind of strange creatures are all in rural areas. The black-eyed kids have all been in rural areas. They've not really been in cities, right? Which I find kind of strange, right? Is it because there's ships nearby and they don't want it seen? Or is there another purpose behind this? I do think they're up to something, right? I believe that there's some type of drones. That's what they are. I think if you had to capture one of them, I think they would disappear really quickly, because I don't think they've got form. I think that you think they've got form because you can see they've got form. But I think there's some type of all the shows that I listen to a lot of Coast to Coast AM and stuff, and Darkness Radio and stuff, and they have a lot of interesting people on, and they all say the same thing. Though the person will turn around and they'll be like, "Can you let me in to phone my daddy?" And the person will turn around and they'll turn back and they're gone instantly. Why is that? And you'll look down the path, they'll look around the house, they'll look everywhere, and there's nothing there. Where did they go? Or here's a scenario: is that person actually witnessing with their eyes, or is it something's putting into their head?
It's hard to say until we have an experience on our own.
So why don't you do your experiment?
Because like you, I get that voice inside my head that goes to say, if you do it, be fucking careful, because something else might come.
Ladies and gentlemen, if he disappears in front of my eyes, I will tell you what happened.
It will not be easy for me to disappear from you, being that you're all the way in Scotland and I'm in Idaho.
To come here.
But you make a very good point. I mean, think about the story of Val Thor when he first came to the United States. He landed in a relatively rural area.
Yeah.
Because you would think if a UFO flies above New York City, don't you think somebody's going to see it? Music is going to spread pretty quickly. Now, To bring up a Doctor Who quote, you drop a police box in the middle of in a busy city area. What are people going to do? They're going to do nothing because they're going to do nothing because they're going to be so focused on their goddamn phones. Granted, here's another example. Here's another example. Henry Cavill, the actor who played Superman, walked around Times Square in a Superman suit, in a regular Superman shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody recognized him.
Oh no, because everybody's like that.
Exactly.
People walk out in front of me all the time on their mobile phones when I'm driving through the town.
I mean, I'm almost 7 foot tall. The number of times I scare the shit out of somebody because they didn't realize I was standing somewhere. I feel bad because they were a couple older people. I was like, shit, I'm going to give these old person a heart attack.
See, I will say this, right? I do think in the modern era, I do think all these distractions are deliberate. Cell phones,
it is awful convenient when you think about it.
I've sat sometimes waiting in my car and I watch round about me and everybody's on their phone, glued to their phones, right? And you see things that happen, but nobody else. I've seen cars crashing and people will just walk right past it on their phone. They'll not even bother looking.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I mean, you don't get any of the tones now they want to play.
I don't have anything affiliated with Black Gay Kids. I have my C5s. I have Brood.
Weird vibe. I don't know.
Here's what I'm also thinking. Here's something I just thought of while we were talking.
Yeah.
Say we had an encounter one-on-one with Black Gay Kids.
Yeah.
We can rule beyond all reasonable doubt that we have something legit happening in front of our eyes. We're not dealing with some sort of memory implant. Think about it. What would happen? You've seen people freak out who messed around with some dark shit when I played my protection tones.
Yeah.
And they had no clue that I was going to do it. I will hit them blind, which is going to be the best way to gauge their reaction. What would happen if we fired that at them?
You don't know. They make it pissed off. Whatever these entities are, they make it pissed off and think, you really want to play you want to come down my road kind of thing. I mean, I don't think personally they can possess you, but I think there's something else. I honestly think that there's some type of protection. No protection. For God's sake. What do you call that? Like a projection. There we go. I think that's what they are. You ever always only find that it's always usually one person that notices them. It's never like a group of people, or it's never like two people. It's always one person.
It's very rare for a group encounter. Yes.
But what I'm saying is the person will come to the door, and then they'll look back and they'll be gone, but then they'll go and check their CTV footage and there'll be nothing there.
But that's the thing.
But what happens if there was never nothing there at the start? What happens if it was they were using tones to project something into that your head? What happens if it was like a test? It was to see if they could do it for some reason.
It's not exactly a secret that the United States government, just as an example, conducted various tests on its population without knowing.
Yeah.
This certain type of disease that still pops up to this day. I believe they released the particular infection into the San Francisco Bay. I believe this took place back in the 50s, but it's said that people still get sick from it today. Then you have subjects like MK Ultra, where people were kidnapped and absolutely tortured in so many different ways, in hopes of stimulating some kind of psychic ability to instill mind control. That's the problem. The fucking shit worked. Yeah. That's the problem. That's why it ran so long, because it worked. Same thing with Project Stargate. It tied into that. The reason why it carried for so long is because it worked. They eventually shut it down because their subjects had severe burnout.
Yeah, look what they did to the soldiers when they were testing the nuclear weapons. Aye, could you just stand over there in that trench over there? We're going to detonate a 6 megaton nuclear device, and then after when the Mushroom Club goes off, we want you all to walk towards it. But don't worry, the radiation will do you any harm.
You ever hear the story of how the the bomb test actually got found out?
Yeah. There you go.
If I remember correctly, it was a newspaper printer out of Boston that figured it out. They were blowing it in the Nevada desert.
Yeah.
The radiation would move towards the East Coast. And they noticed that the way that their printing process, I can't remember exactly how it goes, but basically everything would come out way too dark. Yeah. They're like, what the fuck is this? What would cause this? Higher radiation levels.
Yeah.
Higher carbon in the air.
See, that's actually a good point that you're bringing up. What happens if the black-eyed kids are attracted to something? I know whatever's controlling them, something attracts them. What is every encounter the black-eyed kids had in common? Come on, what is it?
What are you thinking?
All black-eyed kids encounters that I've heard of have always been at night time. Do you not find that strange?
Only a one-off incident. Every one-off incident now and then was in daylight, but yeah. But still, even the ones in the daylight, they were in fairly isolated locations.
Yes, but most of the prolific ones were the ones that I've heard about anyway has been mostly at night. Why? Mm-hmm. Why no during the day?
Less witnesses.
But here's the thing. You got to remember a lot of these sightings have happened in rural areas.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
There was a case out at Montreal. I can't remember the location where the mother, this little boy was in the back of the car, and he was maybe 5. And I listened to this one coast to coast to Emma actually. And she went into the store. I know you're not meant to leave your kids there, but she went into the store and she got in the car, and there sitting in the seat next to the little boy was another little boy. Right? And she says to him, where did you come from? Oh, my daddy let me in. And she went, what? My daddy let me in. So she turned around to stop the car. She was driving. She didn't notice him. She was put over at the side of the road, turned around, and he was gone. But he had black eyes. And the wee boy sitting next to him, he just appeared. He just appeared. Now, that was nighttime. I think they're attracted to something. There's something attracts them, right? There's something, maybe it's the tones, I don't know, but there's something attracts them. Go on, what are you thinking?
Well, this is one of the theories that's been tossed around a bit, and I've seen evidence for it myself on a few cases that got very rough very fast. But we all hear the stories of demons intimidating children, and the fairy kidnapping children and replacing them with changelings and all of that. There's been cases where certain entities would pop up, and shortly after, a pregnant mother would end up with a miscarriage.
Yeah.
So, and when it comes to phantom pregnancies, yes, it is possible for a woman to psych herself out so much that her body emulates the entire pregnancy.
Yeah.
To cramps, to the stomach getting bigger, everything.
I've got a question for you. See to you over your shoulder to the left, I think it is, where my finger's pointing. You've got a black stars.
Yeah.
Is there nothing to hint at or anything like that? No, nothing to make it move. No, that one, the other one, other side.
Oh, just the stars?
Yeah, aye. Nothing's there.
Hold on. It blocks my closet here, and sometimes the cats try to get in my closet. So
it was just weird because there was something happened there, and it was like, I don't know if it was a trick of the light or something like that, but the stars all started like spinning. I was like, oh, and then it just stopped.
Yeah, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this is why you really need to pay attention to the video. But going back to what I was saying, and you have phantom pregnancies. You also have situations where a woman does go into the doctor, does have some sort of embryo, then all of a sudden it disappears. She doesn't have a miscarriage, but it just physically disappears, and they don't know what happened.
I know people that have 10 miscarriages, and the doctor says, "I'm sorry, we've took it," and wouldn't give them it back for weird reasons.
Sometimes that can actually cause psychological issues, especially. Unfortunately, I ended up getting a little brush up after my sister had a miscarriage. But what I'm saying is that we know that something is out there fucking with the kids. We know kids are easily targeted.
Look at the kids.
Even for child-hating motherfuckers like this guy, if you had a kid...
That's terrible.
You admitted it at the beginning of the episode.
I can suffer them for a wee while. They're just nothing noisy.
But tell me, if a strange kid all of a sudden showed up at your house asking for help, wouldn't you be slightly more inclined to try to help it if it was a grown-ass motherfucker? First of all,
if it had black eyes, I'd be like, fuck off and just shut the door in its face, because I'm no stupid.
I know, but that's the psychological
But if I was somebody that didn't know anything about black-eyed children, and knew nothing about the paranormal or UFOs, I would probably, well, here you can use my phone, kind of thing. You're going to help them. Okay, what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. But that's kind of the psychological part of it as well. They want to help because, it's kids. You'd be an asshole not to help. And maybe the whole black eyes, they just happen to have really dark eyes. It's night and you're tired and all that. But nevertheless, the only thing that really causes hesitation is the fact that something just doesn't feel right.
Here's a question for you. Here's a question I was just thinking about, and it's popped into my head, and I don't know where this has came from, right? What colour's the eyes? Are grey?
It's supposed to be all black. Well, don't stereotypical ones you think of, all black, but you do have certain ones that do have blue eyes.
What happens if they're no children? What happens if they've just got some kind of weird cloaking device that make them look like children, and they're actually greys?
That's actually one of the theories that have been popped out there. But with the grays, the dark lenses, they believe from a biological standpoint, there's two purposes. They can either serve as natural sunglasses or
at night,
or because they're huge ass fucking eyes, they're nocturnal mostly. They come from a nocturnal environment and need to see in the dark.
Maybe, I mean, is it right? We hear a question. How many UFO abductions, right, has happened during the day?
It's very rare.
See, this is the interesting point. Yes, it's got to be quiet at night, right? But why? Why at night? Because there's places that's really remote where you might not see a car for like 20, 30 minutes on the road. Mm-hmm. So why not during the day?
Mm-hmm.
Why? I think there's a purpose. There's something behind this, and I think there's something must happen at night that gives them advantage. As you say, maybe they're nocturnal, maybe they can see really good at night.
No,
but during the day they're blind.
I just thought of this. Remember when we had James Brody on, the guy from Bufog?
Yeah.
He basically put out the theory that the reason why we might see a craft with our eyes, but the camera doesn't pick up on it, or vice versa, is that they just come from different frequency. The light, the rules of light are different for where they come from and where those craft are built. Maybe there's enough similarity where we can physically see them, but maybe the camera doesn't register. Obviously, this is going to be hard to test. But here's another thing. What if the reason why they're coming at night is because regular, everyday sunlight overpowers where they can be seen?
Yeah. Or what if they can't appear because of the sunlight? It's their dimension.
That's the origin of vampires.
It's the dimension they're from. They can't come into your dimension during the day. Unless they hide somewhere.
Could it be that they have some sort of reaction to sunlight that could physically kill them?
Yeah. It's an interesting. I mean, it's. Oh, can you imagine what's outside right now? What's outside your doors, ladies and gentlemen, as you watch this? Obviously, this will be next week. This comes out, but they'll be sitting watching this, and what's outside in the darkness, round about your house?
Yeah.
What strange creatures are roaming?
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you think we should move forward with this test, make it a Bald and Bonkers special just to see what happens. Here's what I think. Let us know, first off, if we think we should move forward with it. But with my idea, with the idea I have in mind, everyone else who listens will be put at risk.
Yes.
We're going to follow the same similar rules to what we've done when we've broadcasted CE5 tones. We'll put the tones out here on our StreamYard, link it up to our platforms, and broadcast it worldwide.
Yep. What happens if you get controlled though? Don't do it in your house. Do it somewhere else. Right? But make sure you're no there. Set everything up. Right? Press the thing, then walk away. Say you get two cars, someone to follow you. Set it up inside your car, set all the equipment up and that, right? Turn it on, lock the car, right? Get someone to get into the car and just drive away. Just leave your car sitting, say, in a field somewhere. Because you're plenty of farmers round about you. Maybe one of them will let you try it. And just leave it there for like 2 to 3 hours just to see what happens. Just to see if there's any, because then you would know there was nobody round about the car. There was nobody in the car.
Yeah, but right now that probably wouldn't be a good idea because we did have a good snowstorm and all the roads are frozen over.
If you do that in your house, I mean, you could put people in danger.
If we do it the way I just said, we can put people in danger.
That's very true. That's very true. But MD watching the show, it's their own risk.
It's a risk just turning us on a regular day at the. That I probably shouldn't have said it like that, but
what was that you just said there?
Turning us on a regular day. It's a risk to do that, but you know what I mean. But again, this is one of those cases where there's so many variables that on one side it proves the argument that it's total shit. On the other side, there might be something to it.
I would like to see what the religious side of things sees about the black-eyed kids. Like, maybe like what an exorcist view on that would be. I know that you dabble in this kind of stuff, but I'm talking like maybe like a priest that does exorcisms all the time would think the black-eyed children, if he's ever encountered something down the same lines as something that's, you know what?
Yeah, that would be a question to ask one of the guests that we've been trying to get, but
yeah,
unfortunately, he's a popular guy.
He has that. I was watching
with the chaos of the 2020s. Every source I could think it can come up with is reaching the same point that the real shit's coming out even more.
Look, the world's gone crazy, right? The UFOs are off the scale. What's happening in the world's off the scale. That's new green comet's coming. which is
Oh, it's already here.
It's
already here.
I was looking at the back of it.
It's supposed to be by February 2nd. It's supposed to be the closest it's going to be to Earth. If you know where to look and have a good enough telescope, you should be able to see it right now. You should be able to see it with a good pair of binoculars.
Yeah. I mean, everybody in the internet's like, oh, there's a fake alien invasion coming on. There's an alien invasion. They're coming to get us all. Look, ladies and gentlemen, the aliens have been here for a long time. In fact, I would say aliens have been here before humans were here.
You know, there's a conspiracy that flies around from time to time. You've heard of the Israel ship?
I've heard it somewhere.
It's supposed to be allegedly a Galactic Federation ship that comes to basically it's a massive evacuation ship.
Minta. Hope they come and pick me up soon.
No, here's the thing. Why the hell would a Galactic Federation ship be given a human name?
Interesting. Mysteries. You'll only know that when they come to save us all, we'll just need to say, why is a ship called this?
Why is the ship called the Israel? Yeah, who's to say? It may be a case where, we think of it as one thing. They may have a very similar sounding word, and this could be a line cross. It could be like the film Moana happened to be changed in Italy when Disney released it because apparently they have a porn star named Moana over there, and they didn't.
And only Dakota would know that. And only, ladies and gentlemen, Dakota would know that. As you know, ladies and gentlemen, that's what he gets up to in his spare time. He's a bit of an enthusiast.
Yeah, let's just say there's a picture of me at a dinner while I was in Rome with a good-looking older woman, and let's just say she is very physically gifted. And
I've seen it. Is that the one that's on your Facebook? Is that the one that's on the Facebook?
Yeah, it's on my Facebook.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not friends with Dakota, you need to be friends with Dakota so you can look through all his photos, which I have. I mean, don't you do that to every friend? You look through their photos. Oh, come on, I've got loads of photos on there. Wow.
And some of them make you look like a pedophile.
I'll tell you something new. It's like the break. It's like, you ever seen? Oh, I was going to say something there, but I can't pronounce it. I hate it. I hate that when I've got a mind.
I know.
Freeze. Oh, I'll tell you this. There's some strange looking people on Facebook.
Yep.
But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's a story for another time, as Mike would say.
You can't believe there's TV production.
What do you mean I look like that? What do you mean I look like that?
Dear God.
There's two photos of me, one with my glasses on, and I've got one with my glasses off. That's terrible, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen?
I've looked through your Facebook photos, and there's somewhere you haven't really shaved your head entirely, and you just look like...
Aye, that's before I totally went bald, you know?
Yeah,
Dakota's actually got a good one. There's one with Dakota. Is it the Great China Wall he's standing on?
Oh, God, which one are you talking about?
Ladies and gentlemen, you need to see this picture. And it's like all the kids are standing up, and then there's this big, tall, jolly guy. It's like the Rolly Jean Giant off the canny like corn.
Oh God!
And it's this guy.
Yeah, that's the group.
You ever seen the film?
That's the group I was with.
You ever seen the film The Goonies?
Oh, fuck you!
You ever seen the film The Goonies, ladies and gentlemen? Well, there you go. The man himself. What?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be taking in applications for a new co-host.
Come on. You've got to admit. See if he went like if he put his lip up on that. He does look quite like him, doesn't he?
I should put like a picture of you on my wall right here, so I could practice throwing darts at it.
Oh, come on. I had to say it, ladies and gentlemen. There's one person watching us, is that probably Twitch or something like that? What do you think? Do you think he resembles the guy out of the Goonies?
Say ah.
But,
oh dear God!
I thought I'm quite handsome looking in Facebook. You know. Yes, I've some hair. That's terrible saying that about me, innit, ladies and gentlemen. You know.
God.
What?
What has this show become?
I get all the weird messages for the women, you know. Who's the older gentleman with you on the air? And I says, I asked Dakota, they let him out the weekends, out the old folks' home for the show.
Well, I've been getting messages from both women and men about you.
Really? Manta.
The women are like, oh my God, that dude's a creep. And it's like, can he be my sugar daddy? Here, I'll send you his info.
See, ladies and gentlemen, what I have to put up with. So, Dakota, what's on next week?
I don't know. We haven't really planned that far ahead.
Have we got any guests yet that want to come on the show?
Well, we do have the guys from Iron City wanting to come back, and they're coming on the 19th of February to talk about, just talk shit. I mean, got some more messages out there. There's a couple people I want to get on, but apparently they've been catching so much fucking grief from this so-called community that they started shutting off their emails.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if anybody that listens to the podcast knows this, but the drama in the paranormal world is diabolical, right? And I've got a theory about the drama. I think the drama is one big play, so as people go to their channels and watch it. Because let's face it, who doesn't like to watch somebody fighting? What are you doing there?
Oh, sorry. I thought I had an emergency contact come up. But, I will say that, people are going to like watching drama on shows. That's why daytime reality TV can't die off.
Yeah.
And anything legitimately paranormal, the rare, truly spooky stuff that they try to say Ghost Adventures finds every other week.
Yeah.
You find that type of stuff, you're not going to be wanting to film. You won't be able to make it out filming. Sam and Colby, fake. Brian and Lex, fake. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. Pierre Brian. Brian!
Speaking of which, Chris, the Parapost 2 International is set up for you to go.
That's right. That'll be Wednesday. I'm interviewing Danny.
Well, that would be the previous Wednesday by the time most of you see this show.
Yes. The previous. See, I watched a film tonight. It was quite a good space film tonight. It's probably everybody's seen it. Interstellar.
Yeah. That's actually considered one of the most scientifically accurate films when it comes to space travel.
It's like space. People don't realize that sound can't travel in space.
Or the way the gravitational fields work.
Have we had any complaints yet sent to us?
We have. We have. Oh my
I
goodness.
don't like the way that you have your hair shaved. No? What?
And I'm just going to say this. I thought you were bad when it came to writing. But oh my God. I physically felt brain cells dying off. There was a little bit of fluid coming out of my ears trying to read.
What was that?
From how I don't even know. It's like,
what did it say?
Says I cannot believe. Spell well, it's like BELEEVI. I don't know how the fuck.
You'll need to tell me their email address.
I'll have to show it to you later. I'll have to show it up, show you to you later. I thought you were bad when it came to writing.
See, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting hate mail, and that's a good thing when we start getting hate mail, because we've offended someone,
Yeah,
maybe it's the bald-headed association or something like that.
Maybe it's neo-Nazis.
Maybe it's all the people that's causing drama right now in the community.
Maybe, because I'm just gonna say this. Do you know a few years ago, I received a casting email for a ghost hunting show. That
for a second, I thought it was Goonies too.
Just wait. You're going to love this one. It was for a regular ghost hunting show. Nothing really more than that. Basically, they were sending emails out to see who would be interested in doing it. So, naturally, I start doing a little research. I find other people who've gotten the same email requesting teams to film investigations naked.
You could do that. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen?
Hold up. There's more. There's more. And I'm just like, okay. Part of the reason why a majority of these people feel the need to stir drama is because they're ugly as fuck.
Yeah.
I would not want to see these people naked. But apparently, I don't know if they're still active now. There was a group out of Florida who films active investigations naked.
But you've just went and said a very important word there.
Ugly.
Florida.
Yeah. But here's the thing. It was only one guy and two women.
Oh, yeah.
And I will admit, one of the women, I didn't show her face. From behind, I'm just like, I need to pack a bag for Florida.
But it's Florida. Let's face it.
We do have a fan out there that's wanting me to head down that way.
We've got a fan in Florida? Who the hell's the fan?
She was a guest on our show.
Who's that?
Damocles.
Oh, right, yeah, she in Florida. I thought she was in Toronto. I thought she was up.
No, she was out of Washington, but she moved across country. This was the one you flipped me off for because she gave me her number.
But there you go, ladies and gentlemen.
No, ladies and I'm not.
Dakota doing a ghost investigation naked. Can you imagine doing that in the wintertime?
I was about to say, just remember, if we do it anytime soon, it is very cold. That's all I'm saying on that.
Don't be keen any of the Bald and Bonkers crew ideas for like ghost investigations or that. You know what I'm saying? We might get see Drew Ellingsworth out there, you know, marching about with his clogs on. You know, or what about the Smith family paranormal? Chad!
What?
Chad! I could see him now just marching out of those hills. Yeah.
Why do you want to see Chad naked so bad?
I don't really, because I think I'd be damaged for life after it. But
Chad and Linda, when you see this, I'm sorry.
Look, I think it's Florida. Did they not live in Florida? Near Florida.
Where do they live?
I think they stay in Florida, do they know?
No, I don't think they're that far down.
They're not that far down? Yeah.
No, I think they actually moved not too long ago. That's why we haven't heard from them in a long time. But, you know.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. So, next week, strange things will be coming. You know?
Indeed.
You'll see Dakota on TV, naked, doing a ghost hunting show.
No, you will not, because Dakota is not that confident in himself.
But I think it'd be fine. I wonder who the one person is that's watching us right now.
Some person that's watching us in the background wondering, what in the fuck have I just turned on?
I know. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember the emails there if you want to leave any messages for the show. If you want to see Dakota doing anything exciting. If you want him to take part in these kind of things, please message us. Or if you get any ideas for the show, please message us, you know.
I don't know.
Any ladies out there that are alone and want a good time, this man here is single. Yes, and don't worry, he's below 30.
Do you realize the number of times that I've had a woman turn me down because they thought I was older than them? Yeah, we get to chat and going good, and then they realize I'm still in my 20s. They're all like, "Oh, you're too young for me." I'm just like, wait a minute, how the fuck old are you? Slap.
Well, there you go. Naked and Ghost Hunting with Dakota Franson.
You said my name right.
I did. I said his name. He's got a woman's name though, but that doesn't matter.
How is my name a woman's name?
Francine as a woman's name.
How?
Because it's feminine. It's kind of feminine.
It's son. It translates to son of Francis.
But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's a story for another time.
That's the part of my name he tries to save as feminine. What the hell? Most people try to say Dakota because of Dakota Fanning.
Fanny? Can I just call you Fanny for new one? Hey, Fanny.
And you're kicked. Unfortunately, I gave him access to all the shit, so I can't kick him.
I know you can't. You cannot kick me anymore. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a fantastic week.
I'm almost scared to go look at how people are responding to Jana's episode that's airing right now.
Oh, that's right, Jana.
Yeah, her very first debut on Bald and Bonkers.
I must admit, Jana is a very good, talented person.
You said she looks like me if I wore a wig.
I never did.
Yes, you did it. It's on recording.
I never did say that. I did not say that, Jana. Very pretty, Jana, is to say things like
you said you were one of the first questions you asked her was if she and I were actually related.
Well, I thought that. You told me she was your cousin.
Distant cousins. You know, this goes back to the royal family.
Ding, 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 ding.
But my mom did put out a DNA test.
DNA
test. So
I'll tell you that right now, there, boy. My uncle's my daddy.
Let's just say, I will say this. I'm not exactly sure who all I'm related to because there's a lot of gaps in the family tree, and there's already been too many close encounters. That probably, I should say close calls, close encounters, but insinuate something else. Where, let's just say, we almost turned into Luke and Leia from Star Wars.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we will catch you all next week. Be safe. Go into the void. And we'll see you all in the mothership. Well, he will. Because he's always up there.
I'm always up there. That one stays in the jail cells.
I stay in the jail cells because they don't trust me, man.
I only bumped you up to like 45%.
Nah, well, I don't care if it's jail cells. The things that he gets up to with that Galactic Command is bloody disgraceful. You should see it sometimes.
Well, it gets lonely in space.
So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we'll catch you all later and have a good night.
Be safe, stay warm, and drive carefully if you're in an area that's got a lot of snow, if you're able to drive.
Yes.
Bye.